Guys, Mr. This is back again on the video how to find slope between 2 points, then writing a linear equation either in slope intercept or standard form. Remember earlier we talked about slope, and there are 4 things that can happen to your slope. Either your slope can be positive or negative. When it's positive it goes up, when it's negative it goes down. And the other two extreme, your slope can be zero. A slope of zero is when you have a horizontal line, like the x-axis, right? Horizontal. It's an equation that y equal to a value, all right? Y is equal to 2. When you graph it, you get an horizontal line. Your y value will always be 2 no matter what. That's a slope of 0. And the other one is when your slope is undefined, when you have a vertical line, right? Similar to the y-axis vertical, right? Y-axis vertical. In this case, you have an equation x is equal to a constant. For example, x is equal to 4. Or no matter what you do, your x value will always be the same. 4, 4, 4. So when you subtract the two numbers that are the same, you will end up with 0. In this case, your denominator will be 0. Your slope will be undefined. So remember those 4 things that can happen to your slope. Either your slope is positive, negative, 0, it is an horizontal line, and undefined when you have a vertical line. So let's get to it. Let's go calculate slope, guys. Slope is the formula, and you use the letter m to denote slope. So m, lowercase m, is stand for slope, and your formula will be m equal y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Then to calculate the slope, you replace them in the formula. I have about 2 examples we're gonna do, and once we find the slope, then we're gonna write the equation in slope intercept form, either using clean slope form or y equal mx plus b. All right, so I have a point here, point A, which is negative 4, and 4, point B, which is 2, negative 5. So I'm going to calculate my slope. M equal, right, it says y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. This is my formula. There's a minus between them. This is my formula. Now I'm just going to replace them in the formula to calculate the slope. And I will have slope by m equal. I'm going to look this. So I'm going to call this is my x1, y1, x2, y2. So this is my y2, negative 5 minus, all right, this is my y1, negative 4 over, all right, my x2, which is 2, minus negative 4. Right? Then you will have to simplify that. Then you have 2 negative, you just add 5 plus 4 is 9, and you carry this sign since both of them are negative. Add the numbers and keep this sign. Here you have 2 negative, it's going to become 2 plus 4, which is 6. Now some of you are going to stop here. This is wrong. You need to simplify. Both 9 and 6, they have 3 in common. So you have to divide both of them by 3 to simplify that. This will give you negative 3 over 2 as my slope. Negative 3 over 2. So now I'm gonna write my equation, my first equation. So I'm gonna use this point x and y and my slope to get the equation. I'm gonna use the first one, which is my slope 4. And when you replace it, this y is untouched, you replace it, and this x is untouched, you does not replace, only the x you put. The only thing that you replace is y1, m, and x1. So that's what we are going to do. So the first y is untouched, and you identify which one is your y1. In this case, this was 4. You replace 4 equal my slope, which is negative 3/2 times x minus negative 4. So once again, I'm going to clean it up. I will have y minus 4 equal negative 3/2 times x plus 4. That become x plus 4, 2 negative, become x plus 4. Now, when I get there, I notice that I have a denominator. So for those of you who have fraction, multiply both sides by your denominator. In this case, I multiply both sides by 2. My denominator is 2. So multiply this by 2. These 2 will cancel with that 2. Right? And the only thing you have to do on that side, you distribute that 2. You'll have 2y minus 8. Now you distribute the negative 3 minus 3x minus 12. And your goal now is to solve for y. You have 8 on this side. Then you will have 2y is equal negative 3x. That will give you minus 4. Negative 8. Negative 12 plus 8 is negative 4. And in this case, you divide both sides by 2. And you will end up y equal negative 3/2 x minus 2. This is your equation when you replace slope from. So like I promised, I'm going to do it by using the order. This is y equal mx plus b. So be aware. The only thing we don't know is b. We're going to solve for b. We're going to replace y. We're going to replace m. We're going to replace x. We know y1 is 4. Right? And your slope was negative 3/2. Now you multiply by x1, which is negative 4. Right? And plus b. So you will end up with that 4 equal 2 goes to 4 is negative 2. Right? Then you distribute. This will give you positive 6 plus b. Now you're solving for b. You subtract 6 on this side. And you'll have b is equal to negative 2. Now you only find b. You will have to replace b here. You're going to replace m, then you get your equation. Now you'll have y equal negative 3/2 x minus 2. Then if you compare the two equations, they are the same. So it's either way. You're going to get the same answer. So you will have to decide which one you feel more comfortable with. So that's an example. So we're going to do 2 more examples, and hopefully you will master that concept. All right, take your time, process the information, look this step. If you have problems, so I will post those things on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. You can go at your leisure and stop it, watch it as much as you wish, so you can get the grade. So remember, to make the grade, we have to do a lot of practice, 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 practice. So let's erase that. And we're going to tackle the second problem. Remember, guys, it's the process. The method remains the same. It's concept. So I'm going to empower you to take action on to your own hand to get the grade. If I can do it, you can do it. Just focus and apply yourself, you will get the grade. So the only thing I'm asking for you is don't give up. Math is not easy. So we have to break the whole cycle. So make yourself right. Just practice, don't give up. So let's go to the second problem. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. As you see, I always label mine. So this is my y2, 8 minus 1 over 7 minus 7. So when I write my numerator out, it will be 8 take away 1, which is 7. This will become 7 plus 7, which is 14. Some of you are going to stop here, which is wrong. Both 7 and 14, they have 7 in common. You have to simplify that by 7. So you will end up 1 over 2 is my slope. My m is 1/2. Alright? So like we promised earlier, we're gonna do both ways. So we're gonna come here, we're gonna replace y1, we're gonna replace m, we're gonna replace x1. So this is my x1, y1. Alright, so you will have y minus 1 equal my slope 1/2 times x minus x1, which is 7, minus 7. So I'm going to clean that a little bit. I have two negatives, so I have to work this out. I will have y minus 1/2 times x plus 7. So if you still have problem with fraction, you can go and multiply both sides by 2, or if not, you just distribute the 1/2. So since we keep multiplying by the denominator, I will keep the same way so you don't get confused. Distribute this and distribute that. You will have 2y minus 2. These 2 cancel with that 2. So we'll have x plus 7. Now you add 2 on each side. You add 2. You will have 2y plus equal x plus 9. Here you divide by 2. You divide by 2. So you will have y equal x over 2 plus 9 over 2. Remember, this is a 1. So you can write it as 1/2 x. You don't have to. Right? 1/2 x plus 9 over 2. You don't need to change anything to this symbol. So this is done by using the principal form. So you're going to use this. So when you use this, we're going to replace y, m, x, and we solve for b. We know y is 1, and we know m is 1/2, and x is negative 7 plus b. So we will have 1. All right. When you multiply, that will give you negative 7 over 2 plus b. So we're going to add this on the other side, 7/2, and you add 7/2. All right, 1 plus 7/2 is equal to b. So many of you will have problem with that. So this is a 2. I'm going to put this over 1. I want this to be 2. The only thing I can do is multiply this by 2 and multiply this by 2. This becomes 2 over 2, which is 1 still. 2 over 2 is 1. I just change them so you can have the same base. That will become b. So what is 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 over 2 is my b. So this is b. I will have to replace b here. I will have to replace m here. So I'll have y equal 1/2 x plus 9 over 2. If you compare the two equations, you will see that it's the same. So take your time to process the information. So you will have plenty of time. Like I said again, this will be on the YouTube channel. So hopefully you subscribe and you watch those videos so you can make the grade. If you don't make the grade, stop blaming Mr. DCS, because I'm creating resources for you, knowledge. Use the knowledge, you will get the grade. So let's go over the third example. I'm empowering you. This is empower the student to take action. That will be good for you. Knowledge is power. So remember that. A brain is a terrible thing to waste. All right, let's find the slope. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. Remember this slope is m equal, my y2 is 1 minus 5. All right. Remember this is part of the formula, and 5 itself is negative. X2 is negative 9 minus 4. Right? My numerator is going to become 1 plus 5. The last time I checked, 1 plus 5 is 6. So here you will have minus 9 plus 4 it is -5. So this is my slope, right? My slope is -6/5. So I'm going to use this to do this same thing again. Replace by 1, m and x1. So those are my information. So I will have y minus y1 minus 5 equal my slope, -6/5 times x minus 4. Alright, let thin thing out. I will use it +5. Alright, this becomes -6/5 times x plus 4. Now once again, the process is the same. I notice that I have a denominator there. Multiply both sides by 5. So to make my life easy, this 5 cancel with that 5. So use this relief property, you will have 5y plus 25, and this will be -6, and you will have -6x minus 24. So your goal is to solve for, right? You subtract 25 on each side. You subtract 25. Now you will have 5y equal -6x minus 49 divided by 5 on each side. Then you will end up y equal -6/5x minus 49/5. This is your equation in slope-intercept form. I'm giving you both options, so you will pick the one that you feel most comfortable with. Yes, I'm going to replace my y. In this case, my y is -5. I'm going to replace my slope. My slope is -6/5 times x which is -4 plus b. So let's simplify things out. You will have -5. Use this relief property, that's going to give you 24, right, over 5 plus b. I'm going to subtract 24/5 on this side. Do the same thing. 24/5. So you will this -5/1 minus 24/5 is equal to b. So your goal is to get the denominator is the same. 5 is my denominator. This I want this to be 5 too. So I multiply this by 5. I must multiply numerator by 5. This is going to give me -25/5. That will be give me -5 minus 24/5. That's b. Minus 25 minus 24 is -49/5. That's b. So I'm going to replace this m and b. So I'll have y equal -6/5 minus 49/5. I know many of you will flip out because fraction are here to stay, guys. Get used to it. So fraction being there since cavemen. So this is the lesson. So I want you guys to go observe that. And once again, Mr. Desis in another video. And remember, go on Mr. Desis YouTube channel, subscribe, and punch that like button. See you again for the next video. Hello guys, Mr. Desis back again on video on the concept of slope, how to find slope. And once you find the slope, then you can write your linear equation either in slope-intercept form or in standard form. The concept of slope, there are 4 things that can happen to your slope. Your slope can either positive, negative, 0, or undefined. So let's take that ruler. Let's use this slope when your slope is 0. Is an horizontal line, meaning that the y value are the same. Your numerator, both y are the same. When you subtract the same number, then it will be 0. This is a slope where the line is horizontal. You will have a 0 slope. X-axis, think it as the x-axis, horizontal. This slope is 0. The other extreme is when you have a vertical. Think of the y-axis. In this case, the x value will be the same. Since you're going to subtract the two numbers that are the same, your denominator will be 0. In our system, we do not divide by 0. So once your denominator is 0, the slope is said to be undefined. You cannot calculate the slope. So you are moving so fast. So the speed is so fast, you cannot calculate the slope. The other way, your slope can be positive or negative. If the line is going up, it is positive. If it's going down, the slope is negative. So remember, there are 4 things that can happen to your slope. Your slope can either positive or negative. Your slope can either 0 when you have a horizontal line, the y value are the same, or your slope can be undefined when you have a vertical line, right? And an example of an horizontal line is y is equal to a constant. Y is equal to 5 is the line that goes this way, it's horizontal. The y value are the same. You have a constant line. You have a slope of 0. Or x vertical, for vertical line, x is equal to a constant. X is equal to -2. In this case, you have a vertical line. The x, you have a line that goes vertically, that parallel to the y-axis. In this case, it will be undefined. So other than that, guys, you will be asked to calculate the slope. You have a slope formula, which is m equal, lowercase m is for slope, is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Remember that if the x values are the same, your denominator will be 0, your slope will be undefined, no slope. Remember that. This is very significant. Now, other than that, let's jump and do some example. So I have my slope formula, which is m equal, this is the formula that you need to know, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Now I have point A, which is 1, 2. I label this is my x1, y1. My point B, which is 5, 8, I label it as x2, y sub 2. Now I'm going to replace that, plug it in the formula. My y2 is 8. I replace 8 minus y1. My y1 is 2. And over x2, which is 5, replace 5 minus, is to work on my numerator and simplify that. I will have 8, take away 2 is 6, and 5, take away 1 is 4. Now, some of you are going to stop here, then that will not be enough. Those 6 over 4 can be simplified. They have 2 in common. So I have to simplify that. You always have to simplify your slope. Now, how many times there's 2 goes to 6? That's 3. How many times there's 2 goes to 4? That's 2. In this case, my slope is 3 over 2. Right? Calculate the slope. So what I will do now, since I know the slope, your next goal is to write a linear equation. To write a linear equation, you have 2 options. You can use slope form, which is a formula. Then you will have to learn or remember is y minus y sub 1 equal m times x minus x sub 1. That's one. That's one. You can use that, or you can use the famous one, y equal mx plus b. So I'm going to use both options for you. So as a student, you will find which one that you are more comfortable with, then you pick your choice. It doesn't matter which one you use, you will get the same outcome. I'm going to do so many examples, then by the time that as a student you will make your decision which one you prefer. All right, let's use this one, which is called different slope form. So in this formula, you're going to use this y, there's nothing you're going to do. It's going to stay as is, and this x, there's nothing you're going to do. it will stay as is. The only thing you're going to replace is y1, m, and x. So in this case, we're already identifying that. It doesn't matter. You can use either points because they're on the same line. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to use that. If I use that, it makes no difference. If I use that, it makes no difference. So let's use this one. So since I'm going to use, you see, y minus y1. And we know y1 is 2. You replace 2 equal m. M, which is your slope, we have times x minus x1, which is 1. All right. Now you just plug in it. You just plug it. Now you have to solve it. So many of you will have problem with that. So let me tell you what you will have to do. In this case, you need to identify which one is your denominator. Your denominator is 2. So I can multiply this side by 2. And I'm going to do the same thing, multiply this by 2. This will cancel with that 2. Make your life easy. So the only thing you have to come in, you do this with the property. You will end up with 2y minus 4. Then you distribute the 3. The 2 already gone on that side. So you'll end up with 3x minus 3. Right. Your goal is to solve for y. If you are being asked to answer equation in slope-intercept form, which is one they will ask you the most, or otherwise they will ask you to answer equation in standard form. So for the sake of our argument, we're going to start with slope-intercept form, and later we move to standard form. So since you're solving for y, you will have to add 4 on each side. Then you will end up with 2y is equal to 3x. Now you have minus 3 plus 4 is plus 1. Now the only thing you have to do is to get y by itself, to divide by 2. Then you will end up y equal 3/2 x plus 1/2. And this is our equation in slope-intercept form. Right? This is the slope 3/2, and this is where it's going to touch the y-axis at 1/2. So that's one example. We're gonna continue doing 2 more, so you will be okay. Believe me, don't freak out for now. So we're gonna erase that. Now we're gonna calculate this second one, which is x1. You can see x1 is 2, negative 3 is your y1, and now with d, negative 1 is your x2, and 5 is your y2. Now we're going to calculate this slope again. Remember, it's y2 in this case, m equal, all right? M is equal that. So is equal that, you replace 5 minus, all right, your y1. This is y1, and this is negative 3. So you will have a double negative, you will have to work on that. My y2 in this case, which is negative 1, minus your x1, which is 2. Alright, so let's figure that. Let's look again. Sometimes that's where we make mistake, we have to verify. This is my y2, this is 5. Minus, that's part of the formula, minus 3. This part is good. The second part is my x2, which is negative 1, minus 2. It look okay. So you will end up 5 plus 3 is become 8 over this sign are the same. You add them, you keep the sign. This is my slope. My slope is that. Negative 8/3 is my slope. Now, for the sake of argument, last time I did parameter, so I was gonna use both ways. So for those of you, so this time I'm gonna use y equal mx plus b. In y equal mx plus b, you're gonna replace whatever the y value is, whatever the m value is, their slope, and whatever the x is. In this case, you're gonna use y1 and x1, or if you wanna use the other point, make no difference. And we're gonna solve for b. Some of you will see that is the most easiest, so you will decide. So it says y equal mx plus b. Right? In this case, this is my y. I replace negative with substitution is equal to my m. My m is negative 8/3 times x. In this case, x is 2 plus b. Now we have to work this out. So you will end up with negative 3 equal. You must put this over 1. This is going to give you negative 16 over 3 plus b. Once again, pay attention. All right? I have a denominator. In this case, it's 3. So to make everything easy, I'm going to multiply everything by 3. Everything by 3, so my equation can be balanced. In this case, I end up with negative 9 equal. These 3 and these 3 cancel out. Negative 16 plus 3b. So I have to add 16 on each side. This will give me 7 is equal 3b. 7 is equal 3b. Now you divide both sides by 3. Then you will have b is equal 3 over 7. Now you only find b. Now you want some equation. So you're going to come here, you're going to replace b, and you already know your m. You're going to replace it, and that will give you your equation. And your equation is y equal your m, which is negative 8/3 x plus b. B, write that, b is 7 over 3. Then this is your equation in slope-intercept form. All right, so I'm gonna work this inside out either way. So as a student, you will see out of those two ways which one is better for you, point slope form or y-intercept form. Then you're gonna make that decision. So the more you practice, the better you're gonna become at it. Sooner or later, you'll make a choice. We'll see which one. If I were you, I work both of them out to both ways to see which one that you prefer. So let's try the third example. Once again, I keep my formula out. So here, this is my x1, y1, x2, y2. And I'm going to calculate my slope. M is equal. All right, this is my y2, 7, minus part of the formula, 10, over negative 8, minus negative 4. And this is going to become negative 8. You have two negatives, it's going to become positive. So you will have to, now you have 7 minus 10 is a negative 3. You are negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. Now, when you divide two negatives, become positive. Your slope is 3 over 4. That's your slope. All right. In this case, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use that both ways. So you can be familiar which one that you chose. Remember, it's y minus y1. In this case, what was y1? It's 10 equal 3 over 4 times x minus 4. All right, let's clean thing out. That will be y minus 10 equal 3/4 times x plus 4. The two negatives become positive. Once again, look at it. I have a denominator, I have a fraction. The easiest thing to do is multiply both by 4. This 4 cancel this 4 out. Then use this with the property. We'll have 4y minus 40 is equal 3x plus 12. In this case, you're solving for y. So you want y to be by itself. You add 40. You add 40. I will have 4y is equal to 3x plus 52. And you divide by 4. You divide by 4. And you will have y equal 3/4 x plus 13. 4 goes to 52 13 times. That's Prince-Slope form. Now we're going to use the same equation using y-intercept form. So y equal, so I'm going to replace y with 10 equal 3/4. Right? What is x? X1 is -4 and plus b. Alright, in this case, don't need to multiply everything by 4 because you have this. If I take this multiplied by this, that will give me -3 plus b. Now I can get b easily. Add 3 and add 3. In this case, b is 13. Remember, I know b. Now I have to go replace m and b. So my equation will be y equal my m. We find am, that was 3/4 x plus b, which is what? 13. And when you compare the two equations will be the same. So as a student, you will decide which one you feel comfortable with. There you go, the lesson that we find slope, calculate the slope, then we try to write the equation in slope-intercept form, either using the Prince-Slope form or standard form. Either way, you are a student will make that call. So this is the lesson, guys. There you go. If you want the grade, you know what to do. Go to Eugen's DC's YouTube channel, go and like and subscribe. This is against Mr. DC's. Have a nice one. See you in the next video.